But their story didn't end there.
How could there have been only one? And he's back in business.
Is the worst idea in history of bad ideas.
Part 2 is the final chapter in the violent history.
This time, it's personal.
You are the most fearless warrior I have ever seen. But you will learn to be loyal. Without the loyalty between us, we are no better than the beasts at our door.
They are the immortal damned. Vampire and Lycan. One born into privilege.
Sonia, you risk too much for a father to ignore.
I'm quite capable of looking after myself.
The other bred for slavery.
Lucian, you are a credit to your race.
But all that is about to change.
Sonia, if I were to leave, would you come with me?
My father would hunt you down.
You have stung me with your betrayal.
I've lived by their rules my entire life. I've protected them. Envied them. And for what? To be treated like an animal. We are not animals! Is this what you want? We can be slaves, or we can be Lycans!
You have defied me for the last time.
Are you with me? I'll kill you! All of
Brent, are you done? Did you finish?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. If you like werewolves, lycans, vampires, elders, death dealers, human nobles, sex hanging over cliffs, immortality, daddy-daughter death deals, then you'll like the movie we're talking about this week, 2009's Underworld: Rise of the Lycans. This is a prequel to the Underworld and I guess all of the subsequent sequels. If you ever wondered why the Lycans hate the Vamps, this movie really gives you all you need. Welcome to Revenge the Sequel, the podcast just about sequels. We are finishing up our werewolf. Oh my gosh, I forgot I wrote like that long thing a long time ago. Remember that? Like the title of the month or whatever?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Here we go. Revenge of the Sequel, Happy Hallow Scream. Or you said we had to change that, right?
Yeah, because
copyright?
that's the C word.
Okay, Happy Hallow
Hallow's Eve.
Peen.
Oh shit.
Revenge of the Sequel, Happy Hallow, because you know how dogs have like a little lipstick peen. Happy Hallow Peen, the Lycan List 2K22, the Changeling Challenge Wolf Wednesdays. I'm excited because we're wrapping
I
up.
think it's had a different name every time.
Yeah, it has. The month is over. Halloween is here to stay.
We've been building to this fucking episode.
We're finishing up with a final Halloween movie. So exciting. My name is Manuel.
Hey, I'm Andrew. What's up? It's John.
We have a guest, maybe the first guest of this season of Revenge of the Sequel. Is this true?
Perhaps, depending on what order we release these episodes in.
That's true. Brent, welcome back to Revenge of the Sequel.
Hey, thanks for having me back.
I understand you're a big werewolf head. You're a,
Oh, love them. Can't get enough of the guys.
Yeah.
Just eat them all up.
I saw you on the street just the other day,
Just howling.
howling at the moon and
Yeah.
running around naked.
Yeah. I do that on Tuesdays and Thursdays. It's just kind of a go-to thing for
It's
me.
good, yeah. I mean, on those nights, I'm also around the street running around naked. That's why I see you all the time. Because we're both running around
High
howling.
five, yeah. Just like, yeah, pass each other.
You just scream eye contact. That's all you say to me. And then I just run the other direction.
Eye contact. Wait, what is that? What I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, very cool for our neighbors. Are you a big fan of werewolves?
of the Lycan.
You know, I don't know if I've ever thought about that in my entire life.
Come on. Yes, you have. You've seen a wolf and you're thinking, that's a dude.
We talked about how there hasn't been a really good one in a while.
I
like
feel,
a good werewolf movie.
That's true. Yeah, it's like I saw like the Invisible Man. It's
Weinel.
so good. And then like what's his name?
Lee Weinel.
Right? Lee Weinel. Yeah. He was gonna make a Wolfman movie, and I was like, fucking cool. Like I like the idea of Wolfmen.
Okay.
Somebody
edit that, cut that, edit that, send it to us.
It's gonna be in Breitbart tomorrow morning.
What?
No, yeah, I do. I'm trying to think of more like werewolf movies now. Which ones have you guys done?
So we've done American Werewolf in Paris, which is a sequel to the London one. Which the London one is like the best werewolf movie ever.
The Paris one was arguably one of the worst.
Yeah, probably the worst.
I've heard it's bad.
one
Not the
we've
worst,
seen
but
this.
oh yeah, for sure.
Definitely this season. We did Ginger Snaps 2, surprisingly really good.
Tatiana Maslany's first role.
A fucking sleeper. So good.
Ginger Snaps 2, and then we did well, not a werewolf movie, but
Stretch.
Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban.
It's pretty critical to the film.
Professor Linus?
Lupus.
Wow.
Lupus.
But we also hadn't done Harry
Professor
Potter
Linus,
movies, so we
you're
were just
thinking
like,
of
let's do it.
you're thinking of the Snoopy film,
Yeah, Professor Linus.
where he goes to Hogwarts.
But those are the werewolf movies. Other werewolf movies include like The Howling.
Hold on. Don't talk more about this because this might come up later.
Oh.
Shut up.
Oh, this is a trivia game.
Shut up.
Yes, John, defeat him.
I think I know one of the answers now.
Well,
Go on.
I mean, it's kind of an interesting thing because it's not necessarily like werewolves have been around forever. Well, not real werewolves, but like the idea.
Oh shit!
Sorry, breaking news. They're real and they're
Breaking
here.
news. Does anybody know if it's a waxing gibbous tonight? I was kidding.
It's a waning gibbous. Are these real terms? I don't know.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, cool.
Phase of the moon, baby.
But I feel like Universal with the Universal monsters kind of just took control of that, and maybe even vamps and the idea of mummies, and made it kind of the symbol of them. Made them kind of a entertainment thing.
Yeah, I think you know what we're missing. We're missing a like 1999 The Mummy-esque werewolf movie, like making an adventure movie. And although you could definitely play up the horror, and you should, because like the horror of like a werewolf, like the transformation is really good.
Yeah.
When it's crazy because I think that's why it was exciting when this dark universe was going to take off when Tom Cruise was in The Mummy, and you're like, oh shit, it's Tom Cruise. And then they had Johnny Depp and Javier Bardem on board to start branching out.
And Jekyll and Hyde was in The Mummy.
Russell
Crowe, yeah.
And it's funny because he ends up having The Mummy, like the Book of the Dead, from the Mummy, from Brandon Fraser's The Mummy. And so you're like, damn, it's like it has the basically the potential, but canceled.
But you know what they need? They need a Kevin Feige. They got to find a Kevin Feige.
Yeah, they
gotta
got
that LCU. Brent, that's a running
freak.
joke. Every time we talk about any franchise, we think that they should find a Kevin Feige.
Yeah,
I really think Minions really kind of needs.
They gotta get
Feige.
a Kevin Feige.
They just need some guidance. I mean, Otto, come on, what are you doing with these Minions?
Feige
now?
would have had 10 shows on Otto. 10 shows on streaming. God, everyone needs a Kevin. I need a Kevin Feige in my life.
Yeah,
you need a franchise.
Extend my CU, Kevin. All right. Well, let's talk about Underworld. I guess John and Drew. I'm sure you're all Underworld fans.
Toretto.
I haven't slept in like 36 hours or something. I'll tell you about why.
You didn't even
later.
say slept. You said slapped.
I haven't been slapped in so long, and I need it. Daddy needs to be punished. But I know you're both Underworld fans because of the leather pants you wear all the time. But Drew, you watch these as kids. I think you'll every time we talk about like your youth, you're like, yeah, I watched some crazy rated R movie as a 5-year-old.
I know, and that's why when you guys are like, I didn't watch those till I was like 20. I was like, God damn.
I had Cannibal Holocaust playing in my nursery.
Yeah, the action figures. From
Yeah.
Cannibal
Oh my
Holocaust.
god. It's just like dead animals.
So I remember my buddy Roy. It was a childhood friend of mine. I think it's one of my only friends since like kindergarten.
We're not friends, I guess.
That sounds like kindergarten. Goddamn.
I was friends with you in kindergarten.
You're like, you just didn't see me. Yeah, and so I remember he liked these types of movies. And what was the other one? Aeon Flux.
There were quite a few of these.
What was
Resident Evil.
Yeah,
I guess,
like,
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
there was an ultra.
Just
what's
like
it called?
really,
Was it
really,
called
like-
ultraviolet. I don't know. What it's called.
Ultraviolet, yeah, it's like
Yeah.
early 2000s, like action,
Yeah.
like really,
Really,
cheap action,
honestly,
like crowd pleasers.
Pawn
Like,
shop Matrix a little.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there you go.
yeah,
pretty much,
definitely,
yeah.
definitely.
And so my buddy Roy dug it, and so he was the one who was like, "Oh, he's a little bit older. He can sneak us into these movies, you know." And me and John would go in there and we'd sneak in and we'd watch these movies.
I
And
get age.
yeah, and that's the way I saw these movies. And he was like, "I
Yeah,
want to
he's
watch
like,
Underworld," and I was like,
that's it.
"Fuck it, let's fucking go." And we ended up watching it, and I was like, "Man, this is like." Definitely like a specific style of movie that you love, Roy, but for sure. And
What's Roy up to now? What's he at?
yeah, he's married. It's so awesome. I see him.
Kate Beckinsale?
Yeah,
Wow.
damn, that'd be
Wow.
fucking, yeah.
What kind of dog do they have? Is it a husky?
I don't know if they have it though. They probably do though.
Yeah.
But yeah, I see him at the shop. He comes in and he buys Pokemon cards for nostalgia and he dips out.
Damn, you're really doxing Roy right now.
Why?
Like he's married. He's at the shop sometimes.
Like, here's his address.
Yeah,
Just like-
getting really close to finding out who this guy is and where
Roy's
he lives.
fucking, yeah, Roy's dope. Anyway, yeah, and so that was my first introduction to these movies. I don't think I ever saw them all. Did we see them all?
I saw most like I think I branched off because I had already seen like one.
No.
And then I was like, why not? You know, I think I borrowed actually the second DVD from, I guess, Roy. Where I would like name dropping, I guess. But like,
We're learning a little
My
bit more
boy.
about Roy. He's got DVDs.
Let's friends borrow DVDs.
And he,
What a guy.
Bro, we kept his Marvel vs. Capcom 2 for
Oh.
like 10 years
Roy,
straight.
if you're listening to this, man, sorry about that part.
For
But
the
like, I guess
PlayStation
if
1,
you're just gonna
and
bring up old
he let us
memories.
borrow it, and then like, man, he came over like probably like a good 10 years later, and he came over to this house, and he was like, "Hey, do you still have my Marvel vs. Capcom 2?"
yeah,
And
we
John
gave
went
it back to
upstairs
him.
and was like, "Yes, I do. It's from the place, and it's
Yeah.
like a $200 game."
Yeah, it's a $200 game.
Oh, shit.
And,
What's his last name?
I'll tell you off mic.
I'll find him.
Yeah, the Underworld movies. I guess since like I'll take it over from here because it was like I don't think Drew thought much of them back then.
Well, and
like,
also
honestly.
I was younger than you, so I also
yeah, but,
like
like,
probably
it's
couldn't
just also-
comprehend them. I was like, "Damn, these wolves are fucking hungry."
You're, like,
Yeah,
eating,
they're eating a lot.
eating like combos while you're talking. It's so funny.
They should have been eating combos.
Yeah, exactly. They just that would have been the cure for
They did.
this-
They were doing the
shit.
two-piece combo sometimes up in that bitch.
Yeah, these
biscuit.
movies were. I thought they were fine. You know, it's like it's they're. It's like what Delphin said. It's like really funny. It's like Matrix Light or something. The action scenes are not bad, and the lore of like a werewolf.
It's heavy.
Like empire versus like vampire, like empire. Werewolf empire versus or werewolf empire versus vampire. Empire.
I know, and then you start to mix shit,
That's
and you're
cool.
like, there's the werewolves,
Yeah.
and then there's the werewolf humans,
The Lycans.
yeah, Lycans, and then there's the vampires, and then there's the vampire werewolf.
Yeah,
That's,
like,
that's
"God damn."
I forgot about that one.
You start to get real fucking crazy with this shit.
yeah, they're okay movies, I guess. Then, but like
Cool.
this one's like super this one's super werewolf heavy, which fits like
That's why
what
we
we're
picked
trying
it.
to talk
Yeah,
about it. Yeah.
It's about the origin of the Lycans and the werewolves. But yeah, definitely big action gothic films, which
Big
really
ass
didn't
action.
big ass action, leather action. And then there's like they were nominally successful to where they kept making them because they were kind of like
There's 5 of these fucking.
they were
movies.
consistent.
There
They
were
were
5? I
There's
thought there
5
were
of these.
3 total.
No,
There's a reboot going on.
So there's Underworld. There's
I'm just kidding, I don't
Underworld Awakening. No, wait, no. Underworld Evolution, Underworld Rise of the Lycans, Underworld Awakening, and Underworld Blood Wars, which came out like a couple of years ago.
Wait. There's Awakens and then there's Awakening?
No. There's Evolution. And then there's
I
Awakening,
thought you
yeah.
said, okay. I didn't know that there were 5.
There's 5. Yeah, the most recent one came out like a couple of years ago. I
Yeah.
want to say like 2017.
I texted y'all. They normally
Yeah.
came out every like 3 or 4 years, and
Yeah,
now
yeah.
we're kind of in a almost 10 years
Well, the last
slump
one
here.
bombed big time. It had Kate Beckinsale in it, and it was some sort of
shit.
snow-based one, but
Ooh,
yeah, I don't know if it-
snow-based.
I don't know if it like took off. I've never
Yeah.
seen it before. That's the only one I haven't seen now.
Brent, are you an Underworld head? Wait, what do they call the fans? Unders? Underies?
Underworldies.
Underworldies.
I'm
sorry.
not an underworldy.
You like the
Underworld.
the over.
Yeah, exactly. The Lord and His kingdom. No, I'd never seen any Underworld movies, and then
Really?
yeah,
Wow.
and then Rise of the Lycans was coming out, and yeah, it was like 2009, so it was like after high school, and some friends. I guess I don't remember the story at all because I don't really remember seeing the movie. No offense to whoever directed this.
Patrick
Tatopoulos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dr. Nico Tapopoulos. We're talking about Matthew
Well,
Broderick.
he was I think they named the character after him in Godzilla, like
Nice.
Tatopoulos, because he was the production designer on '98 Godzilla. My
That's
bad.
fucking
He was the
funny.
trivia.
Really?
Yeah. Patrick Tatopoulos. Yeah, he designed He designed Godzilla, the Godzilla creature, like that little.
They call him
Zilla.
Zilla.
Yeah, Zilla. Anyway, but he's the director, I guess, of this movie. So
That's funny.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay, yeah, it just makes sense to me now that the director of this movie is like a production designer
on Godzilla,
who like
yeah.
pivoted into like, yeah, I'll make the third movie in a series that's a prequel. But no, I haven't seen the Underworld movies. I don't know why I didn't really have a lot of like interest in it. When did 1 and 2 come out?
I think like early, like 03. Oh,
So I
like
probably
05.
still couldn't see them.
Yeah.
Because I was like the opposite of Drew, kind of, and like I couldn't really see, even though I was like, okay, Beckinsale looks pretty, and she's like killing like, she's like
doing the
killing
Lord's work and killing
werewolves. This sounds great, but then yeah, I just never got around to seeing them. Still haven't seen them. But I thoroughly know the origins now of the Lycans and the vampires. And
Now you're invested.
To be honest, they're a whole lot more violent than I remember, and I was like, damn, I was watching this shit when I was little.
Yeah, I
it
mean,
was pretty violent. It was pretty
Yeah,
violent,
really
man.
violent, more violent than I ever remember. But I guess I'm just desensitized.
I'm always like just like kind of. This might be going.
we got a whole Joker happening here.
It might be a little bit of a tangent, but like I think of like movies eras like this, like you think of, it's like what you were saying, like Ultraviolet, Underworld, Dracula 2000,
Gothic.
something. Yeah, like a bunch of like
Van
Matrix.
Helsing.
That's a good
Van
one.
Helsing.
That
would
was
probably be in
PG-13,
it.
so I was like, I didn't see
Van Helsing would probably be like grouped in
I'm
there with
surprised you
that.
didn't bring it up on the werewolf thing. Where like
I was thinking it was in my head, but yeah,
And Kate
I know.
Beckinsale, she was in that movie too.
What? Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh fuck.
that's right.
In Van Helsing, yeah. So yeah, that's a weird era, and like they're playing a lot of music like from Static X or some shit, like
Dark
like,
times, dude.
Yeah,
Dark
it's pretty
times.
awesome. Or techno, like it's
Yeah.
either like very heavy metal.
And
or,
we,
like,
we were watching this
dance
movie,
techno.
and we were commenting on like some of these people are in gothic,
Yeah.
medieval wear, and then some of them are dressed for the club.
The guy
Yeah.
he's at the very end, he's wearing like a fucking leather trench coat or something. And
Very
like
cool.
Bill
Very
Nighy.
cool.
Yeah, with khakis. No, Michael Sheen or something. I was like, holy shit, he just turned into like the fucking Undertaker. Or
Wow,
something.
Yeah, he did look like the Undertaker at the end.
He put a shirt on at some point during the movie. This movie, of course, we already talked about Patrick Tatopoulos. I didn't know he was he's Zack Snyder's chosen production designer for all of his DC stuff. And some of that makes a little sense to me now. Like, kind of, this is
Probably a nice guy.
Yeah, like good. This is kind of it's his aesthetic. Like this movie, super broody and moody. And so are all of Snyder's.
What else
DC
has
films.
he directed? Just this?
I'm pretty sure there's got to be like one other credit on there, right?
I'm pretty sure there's one more Underworld movie on this.
No, he's probably worked on most of the Underworld movies.
Viewers, Quarantine Zone, Underworld, Rise of Lycans, Coolio featuring Kenny Rogers, The Hustler music video. This is his only feature film. This is his only feature
What
film.
did it say? Like, go back to the Coolio.
Yeah,
one.
just say that whole
He's made
title
multiple
again.
Coolio music videos, including Coolio Yo Ho Ho and Coolio featuring Kenny Rogers, The Hustler.
Kenny Rogers. Holy shit!
The
You need to hear that
Hustler.
song.
Yeah, let's do it right now. Well, let's talk
On a warm summer's
about
evening.
Rise of the Lycans. Came out 2009. Brent saw it in theaters. It's kind of the origin story to the. I mean,
Brett saw it in theaters, like just like
Well, he did.
singling it out.
it's true. I'm not lying.
I did.
And we talk about the lore a lot, but realistically, like these movies are Romeo and Juliet's between normally Kate Beckinsale and a werewolf, the Lycan, or I guess is like a hybrid Lycan daywalker or whatever we're talking now. And this movie kind of fits along those storylines as well. Forbidden Love, a classic tale that will never get old between wolf and bat type creatures. But Brent, yeah, sorry, that's just
Horse and bats.
somebody draw that and send it to me. DM it to me personally. Brent, what did you think of Underworld: Rise of the Lycans?
There are worse ways to spend 92 minutes. Let me just say, it's a quick,
constipated?
breezy 90 minutes, man. Credits
You
are
mean
rolling
hungover?
at like I think minute 83. Like this movie fucking gets in, gets out.
Yeah.
Part of it is that they had a $35 million budget. You feel it. No offense to Patrick Tatopoulos or Papopoulos or whatever his name is.
Dr. Nico Topopopoulos.
Yeah, but I thought I feel like I probably felt the same way as when I walked out of the theater when I was 19. It's like don't really understand. I mean, I understand because this is the prequel.
Yeah,
I clearly understand it, but it's like probably would have been more invested if I'd seen the other
The other
Underworld
ones, yeah.
movies.
I think absolutely.
Yeah.
I think you have to kind of watch the first Underworld because they're like directly related.
And we just noticed that it was the same actress.
Yeah.
From the
I think
the
so. No, it's
flashback.
actually not. I looked it
You're
up.
spoiling it for Brent. Hey.
I looked it up. It's not actually
Rhoda
the same.
Mitra?
It was the actress, the one that like gets what's her name? Sonia? The one that gets like a sacrifice
Rona
in this.
Mitra, right?
Yeah.
Rona Mitra is the actress's name, yeah.
But I don't know if that's her in Underworld. I kind of looked it up and I was like, oh, it looks like someone different.
What does it mean to kind of look something
He's like,
up?
I kind of, I was in the middle of looking it up, and then I carried on with the rest of my life.
I kind of looked it up as like I glanced at it.
It's not her. It's not her.
Okay, and then basically I'm just gonna say I forgot. I can't just like I can't 100%.
Can you imagine telling like a cop? Yeah, I kind of ran a red light back
Listen,
there.
I kind of.
I forgot.
It was just like
I forgot.
I was dazing out, so that's all right.
But Brent, you went in, you saw this prequel to a movie, you hadn't seen the other two.
Exactly.
But were you like impressed by the action, or were you just like, this was a lot?
You know, I think I probably liked it more at the time because like we were very much in the midst of like that Screen Gems post 300 kind of like. Right? Like 300, I want to say it was like 2006, 2005 maybe?
Another Snyder?
I just feel like all action felt like it did in Rise of the Lycans. And like I feel like at the, during the era...
That movie, Outlander, or like...
Oh, Outlander. I remember that played
Pathfinder.
In theaters,
There's also...
Pathfinder.
Those are two
Carl
different,
Urban, I think.
They're two different movies, but they sound like very similar.
Yeah. I probably liked it more when I saw it the first time. This time, things have aged. Things like, I don't know, the choppy editing. Like I said, like you very much feel the budget restraints. Oh, yeah. These hallways get a lot of work. I should say this hallway that they use.
There's
for
like one hallway.
80 hallways. And it's like, every time that they like are showing Michael Sheen in like human form, which is pretty much the entire movie, I was like, they can't really show the werewolves too much.
You gotta show off that hot bod.
I mean, hey, he was a fucking smoke show in this movie. Like, don't get me wrong. It was like disarming seeing Michael Sheen be like an action hero.
Yeah. Well, you were holding your weapons and you dropped them when you saw it, right? You were disarmed.
Exactly. I was holding two swords.
You're like, oh shit!
I had pulled them off. They were crisscross on my back because that's how you have to do it.
And then you dropped them when you saw him shirtless.
And his various hair lengths, which change throughout the movie drastically. I don't know if you clocked it, but he has like shoulder length.
Yeah.
And at the end of the movie, it's like halfway down his back. Yeah. It's wild.
And then at some point in the movie, it covers him as a wolf. The hair just... What?
It just grows all over his body. What's the deal with that?
That's practical, by the way. He's a method actor, so...
Wow, he just gets into
He got the surgery done.
He got bit by a wolf.
He got bit by a wolf.
Yeah.
And then, they stucky taped dog fur on him.
Hair plugs all over his body.
God, that sounds terrible. I mean, it was all right. It was all right. I mean, very choppy action. Felt like it was a second unit director like shooting most of it. But I mean, the things that really stuck out are like Bill Nighy playing like not a deep villain by any means.
This is the most Bill Nighy you get in Underworld. BT Dubs, because
he's in other ones.
He's in the first one.
Sorry.
He's the
oh man, we keep spoiling it for Brent. Sorry, Brent. Okay,
that makes sense.
Wait,
because he's alive at the end of this one, even though it doesn't make sense because he gets fucking stabbed.
That's what I said. I was like, I had seen the first one. I had never seen this one before.
I mean, truly,
how the fuck does he come
back?
Oh yeah.
That contributes to maybe some of the low stakes. You're like, well, the main bad guy and the main good guy for sure survive. So
they show up. Yeah,
none
they
of
show
the
up
other ones.
Low stakes should have used wooden stakes. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I think he's
human
great.
Stakes.
You can just use anything in this movie, though. They die.
Everyone dies. It seems like everybody just dies. Yeah.
You're like, you can just chop them in two if you're with your sword.
Which is so weird because, like, in the first one, they're shooting like specialized bullets.
Special bullets.
I remember seeing, or like
there's
that
like
in a
bullets
trailer
with liquid in them.
With like UV rays,
right?
She has cool guns, right?
Yeah, she does.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah. She's like a
and also
Dante,
cool
like
guns.
That's cool.
I.e., like arm guns.
Yeah, like
guns.
Hand cannons.
Yeah.
Arm cannons.
Pythons.
But yeah, her Michael Sheen. Michael Sheen, I think, is like excellent in this, and he's excellent in like everything he's in. So of course he like brought it to this too. So yeah, those performances really stick out. Otherwise, it feels a little bit like a. I don't know. This would be like a TV series now. This feels like a Netflix show.
To Netflix.
A little bit.
Not even a Netflix movie.
But I'll also say that maybe all of the Underworlds are always on cable. I feel so. I think this is how people experience it.
They run TNT.
Yeah, TNT is.
They know drama.
After that,
they do
5-hour block on TBS from Hitch.
Yeah,
I can see it on TBS. See, yeah,
and it's always
Underworld
very
Thursdays.
Funny.
On TNT.
Very funny.
It's always playing on the Lycan channel too. TLY. C.
Oh, crap. That's what that stands for.
The Lycan
I fucking
channel.
knew it.
Watch it. It's not just 60-day fiance, 30-day. How many days are they fiancés for?
It's
100?
90 now. They
Oh,
just
shit.
keep upping it.
Ooh, that's a
the more time.
universe. Did you see that that thing?
That's
the 90
true,
Day Fiancé
yeah.
universe. I'm just like,
Just so
holy
people
shit.
don't know, there one of them is always a Lycan. In those, watch it again. Watch
Well,
it full moon,
that
yeah.
get me tuned in.
Yeah,
let me tell
it's
you.
a waning gibbous, and the person that you, visited in their home country turned into a wolf. Oh, Drew, what did you think of this movie?
Yeah, like Brent said, you can definitely feel the budget. You notice because like so much of the fights are just human versus human. I was like, why isn't anybody transforming? I was like, someone turn into a wolf and do vampire shit, but it's just like humans fighting. It's the same reason on why.
Just like a hiss every now and then.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's the same reason why like all of them just die by anything. Oh, the arrows or the fucking sword. And I'm like, man, I thought like we were supposed to be using wooden stakes, silver
That would kill
bullets,
anyone.
the
Yeah.
sun, UV, blade, fucking UV grenades type of shit. Or but no, that's why it's very evident on the budget for sure. The editing at some point is very disorienting. I had to like close my eyes after a while because I was like, man, I'm getting like almost like it's hurting my eyes.
I will say that, but really great editing in the sex scene. Fantastic use of fades.
Cleanly cut.
So
Beautiful.
great.
They
Yeah.
filmed that practically. It was off of the tower.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. Real
cliff.
But yeah, like I like Bill Nighy's performance and Sheen. They just bring it all the time. It doesn't really matter what they're in. It makes sense on why they still continuously get work consistently. And I think if you're a big Underworld fan, it's pretty cool to kind of see this play out as like it was such a small part in the first one,
yeah.
and it kind of just goes balls to the wall with this one specifically, but. It's really cool to see the origin of like the Lycans, I guess, on how like there was just wolf. That's it. Like they're just big ass wolves that are bipedal.
That can't change back.
There's like thousands in a cave for some reason.
And I mean it's like the house party protocol of wolves at the very end when he calls them.
And it is like it is one of the biggest, I think, things happening in this world is the humans are being turned. So many of them are being turned to werewolves, and they're just like overrun everywhere. It's like quite honestly, just like a big stray problem.
Yeah. Oh, I appreciate
like cats in San Antonio. It's just like lichens and
wow. You hear that animal control?
Cats.
Brent's coming for you.
Oh
do
shit.
your job. Put them down. I'm just kidding.
Oh shit! Wow! God damn!
I like cats.
Adopt, don't shop. Yeah, it's but yeah, I would have. Emmanuel, the way I remember he described it, he was like, man, you just put it on and then you get on your phone. That's exactly what he said before we put it on. And then he was like, I can't sit through this twice. And the next thing we knew, he had sat through almost half of it.
Yeah.
And was like, I got to go. I can't watch this thing
part
a
of
second
this
time.
part of the second viewing was to understand it. Like that's when I understood that the werewolves and Lycans were the same but different. After the second time, I was like, oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, it runs into that problem that certain movies do that open with a ton of exposition and like kind of jumping around where it's like it's kind of noise at a certain point. Like you don't actually really process what they're setting up.
Yeah.
And so like, second time I'd be like, yes, okay, Lycans.
Yeah. Then the
werewolves,
terminology, all of that stuff that they
terminology.
throw at you. It's
Exactly.
a lot.
Show. Don't
Yeah.
help,
It's a lot. I mean, a lot of that happens. I feel like even like there's the better movies probably would be like I guess the best. If you had to say the best movie of the franchise, probably the first one. A lot of that a lot of that's still there. Like they just tell you a bunch of stuff, like to set up like a prologue or like to give you like backstory, and you're just kind of like, and then you just kind of just like wait for the for the story to start.
I will say it is rare, and part of this is because both werewolves or Lycans and vampires are immortal. It's rare for the prequel to be set this far from the. Does that make sense?
It's like 1,000 years.
Normally, it's like okay, like a decade before, maybe, or like 5 years before. But this is like, this is a different world, and we've forgotten that. We've forgotten that werewolves patrolled the forest near Detroit or some shit.
It's such a giant like time jump though. It's just like almost all the same people come back for the first one. You're just like, fuck, they've
It's
been fighting
almost
for
too
like,
ambitious.
They look
that
good.
long.
Is Michael Sheen in the first one?
Yeah, he's in the
What?
first one. Yeah.
Well, fuck. Now I'm definitely watching it.
Yeah,
And
he's a bad guy.
He's
Yeah.
not as good as he is in
He plays
here.
older,
He's
yeah.
like he's a bad guy. More like he's more villain. In
He's
that
more of a
one than he is.
stereotypical
Okay.
bad guy.
So yeah, that kind of leads into my biggest question is like,
What was-
are the sides kind of like is it gray in the in Underworld 1 and 2 at least?
Yeah.
Of
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
they're like good
literally.
vampires because
Yeah.
this is so black and white. Like
Yeah.
this is like Lycans are clearly
The oppressed.
good, the oppressed, and like the vampires are like the ruling class,
Yeah.
and they're
And the other one, it
evil
starts to go back and
Yeah.
forth,
It's,
and you're like,
okay,
oh shit.
so that's more interesting than
Yeah,
this
when you
one. I think.
when you first put on the first one, you're
You're like
on the
fucking
vampire side.
Yeah,
like,
fuck the Lycans.
because
yeah,
the
werewolves are
hero
bad.
is a vampire, right?
Yeah,
The
yeah, and
chick,
that's why.
yeah.
So like she
right
was
off the bat, you're
raised-
fighting like it's
Yeah.
a fight scene between
Yeah,
vampires and Lycans. And you're
There was
like,
a lot
oh,
of
fuck them.
gray stuff, and then like the fourth one, if you get that far, I mean, you already
Jeez,
watched the
John,
third
you're
one.
jumping to the fourth one.
No, but you already watched the
What was
third
that
one.
one called? Awakenings.
Yeah,
Okay.
the humans like enter the game,
Yeah,
so they
that's
start
part of
hunting
it,
both
yeah.
sides. Like they just start like doing like
That's kind of that's
yeah,
fun.
like
It's
some
a
sort
it's,
of, like,
it's like
kind
a
of an
chess
AVP.
game. Yeah.
It's like the
situation.
terrain jumping
Yeah.
into the fight between the Zerg and the Protoss in StarCraft.
Okay, StarCraft. I'm back in.
Yeah.
But I think, but it is like this is supposed to be the most black and white, I think. But also,
right,
like you're right, like hundreds of years, pass, and almost nothing has evolved. Like the vampires are still living in the mansions,
But now he's
yeah.
sleeping still.
and the Lycans are like still kind of like living in the sewers. and
yeah. The
shit,
only thing
like-
that changes is not for the vampires, but just the dress, the
clothes.
the wardrobe,
And they have
The
cars now.
technology and
Yeah.
And they don't whip them anymore.
They don't whip him, but it's like crazy, and it maybe is. I don't think it's this deep as a commentary, but the fact that like no, nothing changes really when it comes to.
Oh yeah, maybe he was onto something.
Yeah.
Whereas-
Len
Len
Wiseman?
Wiseman was tapped in.
Yeah,
He was-
exactly. He's ahead of its time.
Len Wiseman, make a Pixar.
There you go, yeah.
John, continue your thoughts on the movie.
John, keep going. We need to run for time.
Hey, hurry!
We need to run for time.
Hey, hurry up and slow it down.
I wasn't too like so invested in this, but it was nice to like have the back, because I haven't seen the other ones, so it's nice to kind of like put things together. Like, oh, I guess that's pretty cool. It is kind of like a needless prequel, though. I mean, you didn't really need to see. You got all of this story in the first one. Like,
It's all I needed, John. I feel
Yeah.
fully caught up on the
Exactly.
world.
No, you still got to watch it because when we talk about gray area, there's something that personifies the gray area.
Yeah, exactly.
Fart.
But
I mean, I'm going to watch Underworld tonight, probably, when I go home.
You're gonna sleep good.
there's the other first one. That's pretty good.
As soon as I put it on.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's 10 minutes of like the world
You know
has
what's funny?
changed.
Oh, no.
Well, and I was like, we're laughing, but I did it on it
Yeah,
yesterday.
yesterday. I just
literally
put it on
fell asleep
after like Delphin left because
during-
we had recorded another podcast yesterday and Delphin had left and I just put on the first one and
John was like, "You should go upstairs."
Yeah.
I was like falling asleep during the movie.
I mean it's okay. I guess it's not my favorite. Even in the Underworld, the ones that I've seen, I think I like the second one the best. But this one is not bad. It's good to see like Michael Sheen really ham it up and really take this seriously. Like
It
'cause
lets him do his kind of Shakespeare thing. 'Cause
Yeah,
he's like a theater guy, and this lets him play.
he's very over the
It's
top.
almost
Yeah,
like the
he-
second one didn't go so well, so that they were like, "Hey,
Bring him back,
let's
yeah.
bring back the old cast."
The old cast,
for the
and
third
I,
one.
and I wouldn't be surprised if Michael Sheen's like star and Bill Nighy, perhaps like their star power, quote
Yeah, the
unquote,
star power,
are grew across after the first one. They're like, hey, let's get
Well,
I can't think
yeah.
of his biggest movie, Michael Sheen's biggest movie.
And also, yeah, like
Good
Bill-
Omens.
He's hot off Frost Nixon.
Yes,
Nixon, yeah.
He recorded lines for Frost Nixon during this movie or some shit.
Did he really?
Yeah, Ron Howard
Holy
was
shit.
like, hey, and I think there's like a picture that Ron Howard has framed of Michael Sheen dressed up like this,
That's
doing the Frost
amazing.
Nixon.
That's hilarious.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, like Michael Sheen and Bill Nighy being in this movie, like it's just so they elevate the
Powerhouses.
They elevate the material because of
Class
how
acts.
like because like they act, they're pretty awesome. So having the cast there, then there are some cool moments. Like I liked the
The downward link from Zelda.
yeah.
Stab.
He stabs like a werewolf inside a tunnel, like an underground like dirt
damn.
tunnel, and I was like, that's pretty cool. So like it's they're not. It's not all bad. It's mostly bad, but
Yeah.
it's not like super bad. And
It
like,
is not like super bad.
No,
No,
it's not super
McLovin.
bad.
No Jonah Hill.
And also, like, it got me. This episode of the podcast got me to watch this movie, so now I can actually go and watch Blood Wars now. Like, I'm kind of.
Yeah.
I'll be like, all right, cool, I'm back in.
I'm
Underworld.
interested.
Now,
Yeah.
what is Blood? Okay,
Blood
now
Wars,
I sound like
Blood
I'm
Wars,
fucking
yeah.
80 years old on this podcast.
Now what the
But it
hell?
is, now what's this Blood Wars you kids are talking about? Blood
they
Wars
actually-
is 5?
Yeah, that's fine.
And is that
The Bloods and the
Beckinsale's
Crips?
back?
That's Beckinsale,
Is
yeah.
fucking Scott Speedman is in those movies, right?
Scott Speedman
he
is the first two.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. See what I was missing in this one, just to kind of like
Scott
throw out
Speedman.
some more issues. Scott Speedman
Speedman.
specifically. No, but it's we jump right into their sex scene, and listen, it's a very 2009 sex scene, very screen gems, very blue. The blue filters hitting hard.
Blue balls.
Yeah. Avatar sex scene also very blue.
That is very true.
So is the Smurfs one. The Smurfs sex scene is super blue.
But it's like, okay, this movie's short as hell, right? But I just feel like it opens
like me.
it opens with them together and having sex, and they're just conflict free. They're just together, and it's like I feel like the more interesting thing, maybe that's explored in the Underworld movie.
Yeah,
or the other ones,
it's
right?
maybe critical to the first one a little.
Not
more.
really. It's like a moment.
You
like
just kind of like
he sees Kate Beckinsale and is like, "Damn, he looks like my past love," and that's
and
it.
that's it. Yeah.
Like he stops and like.
But,
hesitates,
I thought you
and
meant,
that's
but
it.
the general theme exists in Underworld a lot. Like
Yeah.
with Michael Sheen, but
Right.
like the forbidden.
See, it's like that theme, but also
What you like.
in terms of character development. Like this movie is sorely lacking
Yes,
character
yeah,
development.
yeah.
It's like we know what the plot's going to be, and I was
And-
like,
I think
To be honest, there could be a prequel to this prequel because we're like, how did they fall in love? And then they're like, 100 years
Yeah.
ago, we fell in love.
When did they
You're like,
try
oh,
that?
Shit.
I was saying the same thing because I was like, I remember I was looking at my phone.
It's like a kid Underworld movie.
I was
with their
looking at
little
my
kids.
phone. I was looking at
Tom
my phone
Holland's in it.
during that scene, and then I just look up, and then they're having sex, and I even asked Drew, I was like, "What's going
Hey.
on?" And he was like, "They're having sex."
No,
and I was
that's
like,
not how it went,
Where's
John.
the context? I was
John-
like, they just started having sex.
You stood
Yeah.
up, you grabbed Drew by the throat, and you said, "Rewind."
Take
That's
it
what
back.
happened. I want to watch that again. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna play a fun game, and we'll be back to talk more Underworld Rise of the Lycans. So we're not gonna take a break. Actually, we're just gonna go right into it because Daddy don't have time to edit. Let's talk about werewolf films. This is the last of our werewolf film series this year. We may revisit werewolves.
I don't know. I think we might be
Probably not.
might be
I
running
would
out of
not
werewolf
like
movies.
to.
Okay, sounds like
Twilight, maybe.
Dog Soldiers.
How did y'all
2.
not do a Twilight movie?
That's
kinda
what I
wild.
wanted
It was
know.
between that or Harry Potter.
Why
and
didn't we do all
we
the
took
Twilight
Harry Potter?
films? That one was- Okay, but we're gonna do a game where we're gonna go around the horn, and the way this is gonna go is we're gonna talk about these are movies. It's called where's werewolf? That's the name of this.
Where's werewolf?
Where's werewolf?
Okay.
So the game is you using your pop culture knowledge must say the name of a film that features, even tangentially, I will agree to that, a werewolf. If it gets to your turn and you can't think of one, you are out, and the last one standing with their werewolf knowledge will be crowned wolf for a day.
Okay.
So does that make sense? So
Do we get the tail like those kids in high school?
Do we have to like
yes,
answer?
you become a wolf pack teen.
Okay,
And
yeah.
And you gotta leave it on during. So it's gonna start with Brent.
Good, thank you.
And then
I
we'll start
appreciate
with
that.
Brent because you're the guest, and then we'll go to Drew because John, you won the movie trivia. Plus, I feel like we somehow have to heavily handicap you when it comes to these games because you've got like this weird, Encyclopedia Brown.
Who are you talking about? Me?
You.
Oh.
You're like letterboxed as a
you really
as a
do
person.
have just an insane fucking brain for movies and titles. And
Yeah,
stuff. John's crazy.
John, you're fucked up. Okay, so does that make sense? Any questions about the game?
I don't like this game. No, just-
we
This game
bully
hurts
you
my
into-
feeling.
in the beginning. So we're gonna start, of course, with Brent. You name, and I'm gonna Google this if it's so obscure that we have to find out if there's a werewolf in it. But I feel like
Okay.
there's plenty that feature them pretty prominently. Brent, what's your first movie that has a werewolf in it?
I'm gonna go with Wolf with Jack Nicholson.
Okay.
nice.
Yes. Okay. Good. I don't know. So
a Kenneth Branagh,
interesting
isn't it?
strategy.
No,
It's like
not
a weird
Kenneth Branagh.
direction.
Mike
Interesting.
Nichols, I think.
Mike Nichols.
I think it's an interesting strategy for Brent to use something that maybe he could have pocketed for much later.
I've got some
all
stuff
right.
in my pocket.
Drew,
True
wolf
though.
movie.
It's a true point. Yeah.
The Wolfman.
Very good film.
Which
That
one?
Hey, we can put that one on.
How about
that's
this?
another answer.
Drew, no.
I'm going back around, baby.
Drew just got all the Wolfmen. I'm not. We're not
Can you
doing
give-
that.
can we
Oh,
give myself?
no.
No.
Can we give
no.
myself 2 points?
How about this? No.
I knew
no,
both.
No. Oh, no.
I
no.
said the title.
I mean,
both,
there are no
bitch.
points in this. It's just surviving.
Okay.
Here's the other thing.
No,
We're not.
No doubles.
No doubles, and then no more. I don't
Triples
know.
is best.
I feel like okay, fine. No, yeah, okay, cool. All right, here we go. John,
No
what
spinnies.
film?
Oh, you're not playing?
No.
Okay.
I mean,
So he
Good.
can't lose.
I gotta keep
Good.
track. Yeah.
Werewolf of London.
Oh. Let me Google what that is.
That's not an American werewolf.
Not an American wolf in
Ooh,
London.
Drew, we're in fucking trouble, bud.
Yeah.
Oh, yikes.
Not American Werewolf in London.
Isn't it Werewolf of London?
You're right. That is a 1935 film called Werewolf in London.
Ridiculous.
It
Jesus.
grossed $195,000, which nowadays, thanks to Joe Biden, is $2 billion.
Wow. Shit.
Brent, what's another werewolf film? Could this go on forever? I don't know.
No, we'll start to run out.
Okay, cool.
But we got to go faster.
How about this? Let's go fast. Brent, go.
The Howling. Thanks,
Okay, nice. The Howling. Drew.
Silver Bullet.
Silver Bullet. Very good. Oh, sorry, John.
Goosebumps.
I don't know if I trust that.
I was about to text you guys.
That's very good. Goosebumps does have a werewolf in it.
Van Helsing.
Van Helsing has a werewolf.
Harry Potter and the Prisoner of
Harry
Azkaban.
Potter. Yes. Okay. Cool. Nice.
An American Werewolf in London.
Okay. One of the greats. Nice from John. Brent.
An American Werewolf in Paris.
Okay. Very.
I
That's
was like, I hope I get the name.
technicality. Yes. Drew.
Let's see. Teen Wolf.
Teen Wolf. The movie. It's a movie. Yeah, it is a movie. Yeah. It's like
It's a hit
funny
MTV
movie.
show
Yeah.
now.
John.
Dog Soldiers.
Dog Soldiers. Maybe one of the best, actually. Maybe top 5.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, cool. Brent, your turn.
Twilight.
Twilight.
Damn it, that was the one I was thinking of, I think.
Drew. And here's what I'll say. Twilight is just one movie, so if you got a lot of Twilights in the bank, I think you'd be good.
Damn, I think it's a guess, but it might be a long shot.
What? There's lots still.
Drew?
Underworld.
Yes.
Yeah, that's actually pretty good.
John?
Ginger Snaps.
Ginger Snaps. Okay. Brent?
Twilight, New Moon.
Okay, we're doing the Brent's got the Twilight down. Drew?
Let's see here. Teen Wolf 2.
Is that?
Oh, Jason Bateman.
Okay, yes. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, I forgot about that. We were gonna do that movie, but we couldn't find it online.
Yeah, that's true. We
John?
American Werewolf in Paris.
He said that already.
Oh, no.
Brent said that already.
Skinwalkers.
What? You guys gave him a pass. You should have lost.
I'm gonna. I believe you, Brent. It's 2006 Skinwalkers.
Twilight, Breaking Dawn, Part
Hell,
1.
Yeah, we're talking Part 1, and you might have saved Drew.
Twilight Breaking Dawn Part 2.
Yep. There we go. We got both of the Twilight Breaking Dawns. Now, what about Part 3? I'm kidding.
Twilight New Moon.
Okay, Brent already said that one.
Oh,
What
shit.
is going? Are you paying attention?
You lost
John
twice.
just-
One more of those, and then you're out.
John thought he was going to just walk on
Yeah,
it, just
yeah,
waltz right into the winner circle.
I'm actually running out of movies in my head. Cursed.
Okay. Brent.
Right.
You do still have some Twilights, y'all. I don't know if you guys watch or even watch them. That's kind of fucked up.
That's funny.
Oh, yeah. I just realized which one he didn't say.
Fuck. I'm trying.
I forgot it.
Okay.
Shit.
Brent, are you out?
Dude, I know more. Fuck.
There's got to be a couple. One like made for TV movies. I was kidding.
There's some pretty recent ones too that worked well in the indie world. Like 3 of them that are good. You know what I'm talking about? Oh, I may be helping John by accident.
Yeah,
Shit.
Oh,
I'm trying to help Brent.
The Wolf of Snow Hollow?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Did I get the name right? Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know.
That one's like super indie.
I haven't seen it, but I should.
Hotel Transylvania.
Yeah, I thought you.
I was trying to think of like a cartoon one. I was like, there's got to be fucking werewolf somewhere.
Yeah.
But because that seems to lend itself better to the werewolf concept.
The
Very
werewolf's
important.
fun in those, yeah.
And they make like $1 billion.
But now
right?
I think I'm legitimately out.
Okay. Are you sure? Because
Is there a lot more?
There is quite a few more.
Oh, shit. Ginger Snaps 2 Unleashed.
Very good. Very good.
That's what it's called?
Very good.
John, I don't like this, John, that you're using the things.
Hey, you got
You're using the things.
you got some things too.
I don't have things.
Yes, you do.
Are you looking at
No.
Hotel Transylvania 2.
Oh,
fuck.
That was the
that
thing
my
I was
thing?
talking about. Well, you actually still have more things, Drew. Come on.
What's the It's the The Wolfman meets something. It's one of the Universal monsters. Frankenstein meets the Wolfman. Is it Frankenstein
I'll
or is it
accept it, but
Dracula?
it is Wolfman meets Frankenstein.
Okay, good. I was like, that's the only because I know they get Bride of Frankenstein.
Yeah, he meets a lot
But
of people.
there's no
He gets around.
There's no
Frankenstein.
werewolf. Well,
He's-
Wolfman 2.
He's
or
pretty
whatever.
social when it comes to the monsters. Fuck, I'm running out of shit.
Let me look through these trivia cards real quick if they jog my memory.
Fuck. I just lost it. I had it and I fucking lost it. I don't know, like Underworld Awakening.
That I guess counts. That's what I was saying. There's still some meat on the bones of some of these.
There's also like I think I'm just confused on the title of some of these. Like
Yeah.
So like I don't want to say 'em.
Brent.
Rise of the Lycans.
Wow. Underworld Rise of Lycans. This is like
Digging
in the
it
show when they
fucking-
say the name of the movie.
Digging at scraps. now.
Hotel Transylvania 3.
Yep. That's the last
I was like,
Hotel
I think-
Transylvania.
I was like,
It
I
has a
think there's one more.
subtitle. I think.
I don't know
Right?
if you know that.
Or does 4?
Oh shit!
Oh. Strategic error. There is a subtitle, but it's fine. It's Summer Vacation. I think it's the one where they're on the cruise.
Best one.
I guessed. That was like, I was like, there has to be a third one.
Yep.
Fuck.
No.
Abbott and Costello meet the Wolfman.
I'm gonna have to go to the Google for that.
I think that's
and
one. I think
Costello
that's right.
meet the Wolf Man.
Is it a
that
thing or no?
movie is not
Real.
a thing. So
That
John,
was-
you're
that
out.
was- That was
Fucking
strike
hell.
3.
They do meet Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Wrong
now
monster.
it's between
It's
Brent
your turn, Brent. Go.
and Drew.
That was a good game.
Good game.
Fuck.
We're scraping the bottom of the barrel, but there's still some meat on that bone.
Yeah.
Just like what a wolf would say, werewolf would say.
Underworld Awakenings.
Oh, John already said that.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I'll let you guess again because we
yeah.
let John guess a couple times again.
Damn, am I gonna get
What was the other one I made a joke about?
There's actually like one thing y'all said that has a lot of sequels to it.
Damn, shut up, John. I'm trying to win.
Joe Johnston's The Wolfman.
No, we
That
said we
one's got
said
that
we
one.
weren't
Nah,
gonna
I'm
do-
out. I'm out.
Brent is out, which means Drew, you're wolf for the day.
Oh!
We did leave off Twilight Eclipse,
Clips.
which was going to be good. There is
Twilight
another.
waning gibbous.
There's a lot of howlings too.
There's multiple howlings. There's
I
another
know that.
Hotel Transylvania, but that
What's
one
the
is
fourth-
not
what's the
number
fourth
4.
one
It's called
subtitle?
Transformania.
Ah.
And that one actually has more werewolves than
Fuck.
than ever before. And let's see what if there's anything else that was really glaring. The
I was
Wolfman-
going to say Mortal Kombat Annihilation because doesn't Liu Kang turn into a werewolf at the end to fight
Yeah,
Shao Kahn?
yeah. And then you got the
yeah,
two,
you're right.
in the two
That
last,
was my ace in the hole.
in the two last Harry Potters. There's where the same characters in both
Yeah,
of them
Lupin,
too.
yeah.
Company of Wolves is here. You
Company of
all got a
Wolves.
lot. Werewolf Within was another
Werewolves
recent
Within.
one. That was really
Oh, that was fun. That was a fun movie.
big. Silver Bullet is a movie. The Curse of the
I said Silver
Werewolf.
John, or
Yeah, you
Drew
did. Wolf Cop, Wolf Cop 2, Wolf Cop 2. A movie just simply called Wolf would have sufficed. 1994.
He said wolf.
I said that was my
Oh,
first
Jack Nicholson.
one.
Yeah, you're right. You said that. And then Wolfen.
Oh, Wolfen.
But let me count this.
Oh,
and I think,
Brotherhood of the Wolf. I think,
I
is
think you
another
all did
one.
really well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 20, 29 wolf films you have named. And for that, I think we have all won in such a manner
Yeah.
as wolf.
I don't like how long that went on.
That
and I
was-
only won because of default, like because I
Yeah.
was the last in the
You didn't-
rotation. And then I
had
I
nothing
jack
left.
Shit.
You
didn't have
Well,
anything
I
left
had
in the
Mortal
bank.
Kombat.
You have the Howling too, but it's like
so
Howling
I-
2
I
that
didn't
your
remember how
sister is a
many-
werewolf. Like that's what the
Yeah, I didn't know how many
Creative.
howlings they
3,
had
I
made.
think, right?
4.
There's 4.
Yeah,
Wow.
there's 4
That's,
Howling
that's
movies.
all I was gonna say.
So I guess-
I was just gonna guess.
What we
Howling
learned
2.
from this game is season 2.
is man, there's a lot
Werewolf.
of werewolf
It's just
sequels.
the Howling month.
Well, let's talk a little bit more about Rise of the Lycans. Big spoiler on the title, I think. What did you think about the finale? Because Brent was right when he said it's a very quick movie. It's not like there was going to be a Battle of Helm's Deep, even though it felt like that was going to be the setup to this. It very quickly is just like it's done. Like they overrun the place. They
Yeah.
jump over the fence.
There's lots of wolves running, but you only see like 4 wolves actually fighting.
Yeah,
They
we'll get there.
Yeah, they like the kind of. I will say, of course, you feel the budget You know, like the limitations of the
this
that
movie
the
costs like
had.
one Stranger Things.
Exactly, one episode.
Yeah.
But I will say that I do like at least the intention with a lot of, if not most of the effects. Like there's a lot of practical stuff, a lot of practical suits, practical effects,
practical teeth.
And I appreciate that. And I think they even did like the kind of like Ray Harryhausen kind of stop motion-y stuff I noticed on like the wolves running. There's a lot of that's like pretty well done. And I was just like, oh, this is kind of like the last era before CGI took over everything, and they made like
CGI,
Frankenstein and like fucking shit like that.
Great
just,
film.
Gargoyles. Yeah, exactly.
I think you're right, because there is the scene where the noble, and I understood this on the second watch, totally confused the first time. One of the noble humans is coming into town and towing basically a row of, it seems like human slaves or something, right? Mm-hmm. And that's where we meet Raze, who is important for Underworld. But that ambushing from the werewolves has some pretty cool effects and kills, and I think we've got some people like werewolves being sliced and diced, and a lot of stabbing.
Raze himself is like boxing.
He's maybe one of the only ones that survive without any powers. Like he's very
he's
capable.
handcuffed at one point, just like smacking werewolves on the head.
Yeah,
is Raze the guy with the deepest voice?
Yes.
Of any
and Drew, why don't you? We practiced this last night,
and I don't have it now because I need to hear it.
I have to watch it.
Oh boy,
Raze, like he is a very important character in that first.
You did it good.
Underworld.
I am Groot. Yeah, super deep voice.
It's like
super
they
unique,
lowered. Yeah, I feel like they like edited his audio or something.
Yeah, and
it's so
his voice is like that in the first Underworld. Spoiler alert: he's in the first Underworld
That's
movie.
cool. Okay, so he comes back. That's awesome.
He survives and he looks fantastic. But yeah, I mean, it's also, I remember now that Michael Sheen's character is also a blacksmith, and he's whittled a key.
Yeah, he made it like he like made this key on his spare time while being watched, which I was like, holy shit,
and
he's
good. And he just forgets the skill when he's in Underworld 1.
Yeah, and that's
you don't
true.
really need I guess.
He could
Shouldn't he be making copies of this key? He could make like 10 of them.
He should have gotten better.
Yeah.
At blacksmithing.
Yeah, he's like a master blacksmith.
But they don't use it.
Yeah.
He dropped that skill after
honestly,
after the Dark Ages.
I only learned he was a blacksmith on the second watch, because they kept calling him blacksmith, and I was like, I've never seen him do anything.
Yeah.
He hasn't made a sword, or and then I was like, oh shit, yeah. He whittled a key. Like, that's a pretty good blacksmith. Yeah. I mean, what else? Are there other big... I mean, those are the biggest moments. It's oddly like kind of a political drama in a way, because part of Bill Nighy's character is him kind of wanting to become like a build that wall type of, only people in the keep are safe. He doesn't want to use his Lycans outside the wall. Mm-hmm. And I don't know what that friction is. And his henchman, of course, is... trying to double cross somebody somehow and get on that council, but a lot of it is about how they manage the humans and the Lycans, and it's a lot of like board meetings.
Yeah, I did like the touch with the guy who helps them escape, and just kind of like the moral gray area in that, because the movie is very, very black and white, like to the point where it's like there are other reasons that it's kind of a boring watch. Like you said, like you start it and you pull out your phone. But like
that's not an insult.
Interesting.
I pull out my phone and I watch it on my phone and I sync the two up. So I'm actually watching.
Well, you record it as well on your phone. And
you live stream it on your Facebook.
Yeah, I live stream Rise of the Lycans so that my followers can be exposed to cinema.
Yeah, the idea of live streaming, it's not even you. You're just showing, like, via your phone the movie.
It's mostly my reaction to the film.
Whoa.
Wow. Oh, he's a blacksmith.
I didn't catch that on the first viewing.
Oh, shit. I don't know that.
Yeah, you were talking about the ending, though, and I do think that the ending... I remember being, like, pretty surprised that, like, just not knowing what happens in the future. I don't know if her death... is something that is referenced in Underworld.
Maybe it is.
And
so,
at this point, we stop probably like
tune in and watch.
Spoiling it for you
for next year.
Oh, okay. But yeah, I mean, going into it, like I remember when I saw it, that's the thing I remembered most of. Like she dies, and she dies kind of like
it's brutal,
fast and brutal, and like
her dad
Michael
kills
Sheen,
her, right?
Yeah, basically. And that's the thing that like stuck out most this time too. Is like they tie her up. And she's dead like a minute later. And it's like, oh shit, that's pretty wild. I mean, it's a tragedy, I guess. Like it's
and everyone's
Romeo and Juliet.
and it's just like, but also like I think like that's probably the best performances you get of everybody involved in the movie. Like you see, there's a scene, a nice like emotional scene where you go back to Bill Nighy's Victor is the name of his character.
He's hugging the pole.
Yeah, he's hugging the pole. He's like really sad. And then you have like
It's like if you edited just that sentence, people would be like,
he's petting the pole.
I know.
That's
John's working at a strip club.
Is this a social media clip? That's the bite you pull up, like hug the pole for this episode.
Hug the pole and get sad. That is what.
But you have like Victor actually, Bill Nye doing his thing, and then you have like Michael Sheen, have a
yelling to the top
very
of his
freak
lungs.
out, big freak out, like
eyes wide,
like moment, like when he sees, I think it's Sonya, right? Sonya get killed. Yeah. So that's probably like the best performances.
We're not talking
of the
a lot about her because she is sort of playing.
Not really there.
Yeah,
like
she's
a whole lot.
Her purpose is almost like a pawn between the two.
Like we just got you because you look like Kate Beckinsale,
and like
that's what
I guess
like.
That's
what I'm saying. It's
we
missing.
Can't spoil it for Brent.
Yeah, I am gonna watch it tonight. And
the other thing, and this is kind of on the macro scale, to have this storytelling happen like this, and Underworld, not the biggest movies, but really well followed and watched films. Brent watched it in theaters. But the fact that this whole movie is from the point of view of the other side, it'd be like if Lord of the Rings released a prequel on like the orcs. What were they up to?
On Hot Sauron?
Because
that's what's
sexy
about to happen.
Like it's a big. I
the
think,
Rings of Power. Tune in Amazon Prime.
It's a big swing to do like the Lycan movie. After you make two mostly vamp centric or vamp as good guy movies. It's a nice swing, I think. I can't think of a ton of examples where they do that. It's like if they did, All the President's Men prequel, and it's like what Nixon's thinking. These damn reporters, shit.
Oh, I thought you were going to say George Washington. It's like George Washington's there. It's like you got to jump that far back in time.
Yeah, sorry. But, it's a pretty cool, like, at least idea to do something like this, especially at the scale that they're doing it. Mm-hmm. But cool. All right, well, bye. I'm just kidding. Let's go around the horn and talk about our final thoughts on Rise of the Lycans. John, we'll start with you.
It's not the worst movie we've seen at the beginning, or for this season so far.
You have to say the name of the entire season.
For the werewolf within monthly Howling Scream
monthly
Howl Scream Fur Party.
I thought it was Jalapeno.
There we go. Yeah, it's Jalapeno.
Oh yeah, the jalapeno. Excuse me.
Okay.
It's like a jalapeno.
It's like a jalapeno. We don't have time to say the O. Oh yeah,
jalapeno.
Yeah. What's your? Oh, okay. Is that it, John?
No,
that's all he says. It's not the worst movie we watched. Next.
Fact.
It's cool. I mean, if you're a fan of the franchise, I don't know why you wouldn't not want to watch this. I guess it's a fun, it's what you see is what you get, kind of. I guess if you see a trailer, you're gonna get a whole lot of this, basically.
90 minutes of that.
But again, I don't know why you would watch this unless you're a fan of the franchise. I guess or like for us, if we had to do this podcast. So it is kind of like
Jeez.
and as having seen the other movies, it's not bad. So it's just like if you want a good time and if you're a fan, you need to see like the Lycans rise. It's funny to say it like that, but if you want to see that uprising, I would say give it a shot, And this only leads to better movies because I remember the fourth one being a little boring, like kind of a little better than this because I think they get, not that Kate Beckinsale, I guess the franchise, that's her franchise. So having her back on screen, there's just something more, there's something more about her that just kind of just fits well when it comes to her movies. But you can only kind of get that if you don't have to get that, but it is cool to just be watching them in order, I guess, in order that they've been made. So, yeah, I mean, if you're a fan, go watch it. If not, then not going to be any skin off your bones, I guess. So, whatever.
Yeah. Brent, what do you think about this movie?
I am excited to be at the beginning of my Underworld journey now. My journey into the Underworld.
Wow.
That sounds ominous. To watch four
that sounds
more
like
movies.
Going to hell, kind of, right? Like,
hey,
we're on
we'll
the
see how
highway.
I feel after I'm done watching these movies, I guess. No, but watching this one, rewatching, I should say. It's not the most.
The first time, where did you go watch it?
I don't know, man.
Come on.
The Palladium was open because I'd worked there before then. Probably the Palladium.
The theater.
Because I think it was when I was working at Six Flags, and it was probably like after a long day working the fucking water park and
you know what? The only thing that would quench his thirst.
Yeah. is this movie?
Some Underworld Rise of the
I mean,
Lycans.
this is a weird statement.
It was
but
a hot day, John, in Texas.
Underworld Rise of the Lycans is like the opposite of Six Flags. I don't know what that makes any sense, but
I feel
it's
that
dark
in my bones.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's yeah, no, it made me a little nostalgic too for just like this kind of movie, this like $35 million. It's like it's not Blumhouse. It's not like 5 mil. It's not like 150 million blockbuster. It's like this kind of like it would be a show now. It would absolutely be like a Netflix show, like series. The fact that they haven't made an Underworld fucking streaming series is kind of wild.
Yeah, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I mean, The Witcher is kind of like Underworld now.
Yeah,
I've only
it's
watched
kind of-
like 10 minutes of it. I can't get into it.
Yeah, exactly.
No, you're right. Like that aesthetic
Yeah.
is kind of like
That's
what
why I
think
couldn't get
about it.
through
It's
it,
like
because
a
I was
show
like, this
now,
feels like Underworld. I turned it off.
I'd rather watch Rise of the Lycans. No, but yeah, it's it's my voice went up an octave, I guess, but it's fine. It's it's not the worst thing I've seen this month. It might be actually, but
It got you to hit that
it's,
high notes.
yeah, it's like a breezy 85-minute time. Could have used like 20, 15 more minutes of like character development probably at the beginning to get people more invested. But it made me intrigued to watch at least the first Underworld, so I'll give it that. It did its job, I guess.
nice.
There you go.
Yeah.
Drew?
This movie is as Underworld as it fucking gets, and so if you don't like this movie, then you probably shouldn't watch any of the other ones. But yeah, some cool performances I think from the two leading roles, I suppose, with Bill Nighy and Sheen. Really cool performances that are worth checking out. I think just YouTube clips of Sheen just yelling every time he gets whipped with his white eyes.
Yeah, he's always got his arms out. He's just like, "What?
He
Are
keeps,
you
like,
want to be?"
talking
Like,
to,
Yeah,
like,
he's like locked like this.
Yeah,
the whole
he's
movie.
like,
Yeah.
exactly. So it's pretty cool to
he's
see.
always in speech mode, and no one's reacting.
To see the macho role come from him. It's pretty awesome to
It
see
is
him
cool.
lead that. But yeah. If you like this, then you're gonna like the other movies. And Brent and John were a whole lot nicer.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Listen, I don't know if werewolf shit is real, but this movie, I'm just kidding. No, I think that this is, I think if you're a fan of the franchise, you'd watch it just to experience those characters again. I'm not necessarily sure you would enjoy it a ton because when we talk about the main characters in this film, if you're a fan of the franchise, you know that where they end up
What happens,
the whole
yeah.
time, which isn't necessarily like great to
It's a
like
hard
Rogue
starting
One,
point.
Or Obi-Wan Kenobi.
I didn't like Rogue One. No, I'm just kidding. No, yeah, like
Rogue
it's,
One was new characters though.
It was,
and
but
you guys are saying that Underworld kind of like sets up
I would
that this
say
happens.
the odd. I'm not going to say anymore, but there's something
Okay.
about the climax of this movie
The climax.
that is kind of undercut, I guess, is what happens. But like it's super, I think, enjoyable just to kind of see a bunch of that fighting. It is kind of and I'm going to include Rona Mitra in this too. But Bill Nighy, Michael Sheen, and Rona Mitra are kind of veterans of the British stage, and this movie feels like that. I think you talk about how he screams for reaction most of the time. He's literally in a theater with balconies a lot of times, yelling a monologue out at the rest of the Lycans, and I feel that in this movie. And this is perhaps the meatiest of their roles, definitely more than Underworld, where
They're all almost like cameos in that.
yeah,
one.
they're like just literally
Like a
running and jumping in that
It's a
movie.
clusterfuck of so many characters. It's ridiculous.
in that first one.
And it's not, and they're not even really that important in that film. So to have this exist is pretty cool, at least. I kind of enjoyed it.
Did none of us say what we do in the shadows for the
Wow.
for the game?
Wow.
God damn, yeah. We're now. You just called us all out.
Well,
and
those
it's like
were
we're ashamed. Now.
I thought those were swearwolves, though.
They're not.
They're not
werewolves.
I want to ask y'all a question, though. We didn't really talk about the future of Underworld much because
there is
there
one.
isn't one. But do you feel that Underworld and right now it's not existing because Kate Beckinsale doesn't want to do another one? But do you think this could exist without her? Do you think it's time for a little bit of a soft reboot?
I don't think it's time for one, but I think there probably will be.
There probably is going to be one, and it's
Soon.
going to be
I think it could be a
real
cool,
stylized.
a cool AMC show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
Underworld.
I can be like see it a Netflix adaptation or something.
Not on
Other stuff
Hulu,
like-
but Netflix or AMC.
Yeah,
Totally
see
up their
a
alley.
Netflix stuff.
Sci-fi, maybe. We could see a little bit of a sci-fi thing. That might fit right at home on their channel.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's actually true.
I
Is
watched,
Sci-Fi still making originals?
yeah, I watched some of their Chuckies.
Sharknado 12.
Oh, they're doing Chucky?
They did
I
a
thought-
Chucky.
wow.
That was
Resident
interesting.
Alien, no, that's USA, I think.
Oh,
No,
never
Resident
mind.
Alien is sci-fi, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's
I've
Alan
heard that's
Tudyk.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good.
Okay, but yeah, well, I guess we'll have to see. Who knows? Maybe next year they'll announce another Underworld. I know that she had always wanted Blade, Wesley
To
Snipes'
crossover?
Blade to cross over, which is not happening anymore. But it'll be interesting. Maybe we got Mahershala Ali in
In an
an
Underworld movie.
Underworld movie. He would be the ultimate.
You're just saying, like, Disney
killer.
buy the Underworld rights.
It's
and just-
time they need a Kevin Feige. That's the thing. Underworld
I was
needs
just
a
gonna
Feige.
say they don't. They don't need to join the MCU. I think
Yeah.
they need to get their own Feige of a real
Each-
diehard.
Each of the Lycans could have a show. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They need like a Nick Fury who's like assembling a team of Lycans and then,
A pack, a wolf
a
pack.
a wolf pack.
God, I'm just seeing dollar signs. I've just
Yeah.
1 billion at the box office.
Screen Gems, where you at?
The UCU
Truly,
Underworld
where are you
Cinematic
at?
Universe?
Screen Gems. That's what I'm wondering. Where is Screen Gems at?
What do you mean the Under Universe? Because World's already, like...
Yeah.
Well, let's go around the horn. Give our final thoughts again. No, give our plugs. This is coming out, I think, really
This is
close
a great episode.
to
Our
Halloween.
you can totally tell our interest in this movie. Like what
yes.
it is, like at what level.
It is what it is. But well, we're
John,
near.
you picked this werewolf month, John.
You did, yeah.
And now we're gonna have to settle up for a bonus episode with Halloween.
Drew and I wanted
finish
to
it
do.
up.
Drew and I wanted to do the theme of good movies, but you said no, werewolves. We're really close to Halloween and also Election Day. John, what do you have to plug?
Well, I guess if it's election day, go out and vote if you can.
And vote twice. Shit.
Take that tip. If listen to past episodes of Revenge of the Sequel. We had a lot of seasons. I think this is our. Does anyone keeping count? I guess I probably shouldn't even guess. But like our seventh probably season or something. We got a huge backlog of episodes. Listen to Countdown to Infinity. Delphin and Sophia are doing some cool things there. I think at this point we might be getting close to watching Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. So like stay on the lookout for that episode. And yeah, I think I'll hand it off to Brent for his plugs.
What do you have to plug?
Yeah, just I would say just check out the Delphin Pod Patreon. Manuel and I are recording. We record a lot. We do top 5 still. We do episodes of a new show called Screen Slush, where we talk about new shows, new movies, old movies, whatever
And we might
we've been watching.
we might get into murders too. We might start like a serial
Only
type thing.
murders.
That's a good.
I'm gonna
the Patreon.
I'm gonna look up
Screen slut.
I'm gonna look up murder. See what we can do. Solve some of these, you know.
I think we
What
can
would screen
solve a few.
slut mean? Like just like a the
You're just
screen
like,
slush is just hardcore.
Here's a slut for the screen.
I think it's just the porn we've been watching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's probably what it is.
Yeah.
Not to be mean about actresses,
Oh,
but we don't need to wade into that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, check out the My Old Show Director Showdown, the past episodes of that, and that's about it, I think.
Drew.
Did you say the Countdown Strikes Back? Did anybody say that?
No,
Damn,
no one
how
said
dare
that.
you
And
guys.
everyone
Star
is
Wars
here
por vida,
for that,
baby.
yeah.
Star Wars por vida.
We're
And also
Andoring
Star Wars
right
is
now.
dead. Oh no, we're
we've
Andor,
Andored
yeah.
all over the place probably
Are
already.
we doing that?
Yeah,
We
we're
have
doing
to.
Andor,
Hell
yeah.
We're going to.
And we got to get back on that High Republic shit.
By the time I'm recording this, I'm gonna go watch. What is it?
Rogan.
Rogue One in IMAX on Friday.
There's like
So
Gorgon.
excited.
Like
When does Andor start? Like 3 days?
and no, the 21st I think of September. I think at
Yeah,
that
pretty
point.
close.
Oh, like a month away. Okay.
yeah.
It's like shit.
We got time.
Yeah, so check that out. Check out the Dirt Sheet Radio if you love the professional wrestling world. My boy John was just here and then snuck out while we were recording at the same time. But yeah, check it out if you love that avenue. Stay vaxxed. Stay vaxxed. Whether that's the flu shot that you haven't gotten yet or the COVID vaccine, probably.
And now it's cyclical, so we got to get that polio
And
again.
you know it's cold. It's colder, so of course it's gonna spread
It is
a little
colder,
bit,
yeah.
a little bit more, a little bit quicker. So just be safe about
Yeah.
it.
I got my pumpkin spice COVID vaccine recently.
And also, have a safe Halloween. Check all
Oh,
your
yeah,
kids'
yeah.
candy. Check all your kids' candy.
What? Oh, yeah.
Um, and also vote.
yeah.
Get out there and vote.
And, you know, I had a fun idea. Take the candy from your kids, record it, and send it to us, because I'm starting that. Very first people to do that.
Record it?
It's a thing.
You
Jimmy
take-
Kimmel does it like every year for the last 10 years.
Like
Look it up.
Like you assault a kid? And
No,
take their
wait,
candy?
hold on. No, wait.
Rob them of their candy.
It's your kid. You take your kid's candy that they collected, and you tell them you've eaten it, and then you record them crying.
Damn,
You
that's
don't
pretty-
assault. Don't
The
go
Jimmy
around
Kimmel
town
bit?
stealing people's candy.
Thanks so much for listening, everyone. We'll see you on the other side. I'm gonna start doing these close. Yeah. Here's a little listen of the top 10 country record albums of 1965. All right. I'm Matthew McConaughey now.
man.
Bye.